Hello, Star Trek, such sweet sorrow. Parting is such sweet sorrow. That was from Romeo and Juliet. I don't know the context. What was that about? Is that where they killed themselves? Was that at the end? What actually happened? I don't know. It's been... God, how long has it been since I read that? That was... like 2012?
It's the balcony scene.
It's been like 12 years since I read Romeo and Juliet. Maybe I should read it again. I don't know. I remember it being weird. It also feels weird to have... The fact that she's like 14, well, they're both like 14, feels odd. I'm not sure why... I was going to say I'm not sure why they committed suicide at the end, but I mean, I do know why. It's just over dramatic teenagers. Typical teens. Weird,
Hello there.
Yes, I can... Soma...
There we are.
Okay. Yes, so you are alive. Excellent. So... Such sweet sorrow. Honestly, the only thing I remember from the balcony scene is the Shakespeare teacher, because I had a specific Shakespeare class, using it to explain what wherefore means.
Wherefore art thou Romeo?
Because that's what his parents called him. That's why. I mean, it's not that complicated, Juliet. It's how names work. Surely it should have been wherefore art thou That is not what it should have been. Clearly it should have been wherefore art thou Montague?
Yeah.
Capulet? Which one is which? I think Romeo's a Montague. I don't know, man. Did you have a Shakespeare class?
Not a Shakespeare class, so obviously we just studied it in English.
Ah, yes. I think Shakespeare was like an elective version of the English class at my high school. It's like you could just take English or you could take specifically Shakespeare. Which I'm not sure why I need to be able to know so much about Shakespeare. I feel like it hasn't really helped me in my day-to-day to be able to go tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow creeps in this petty pace from day to day to the last syllable of recorded time and all our yesterdays of lighted fools the way to dusty death. I'm not sure that's useful to me, but hey, I know it now. Though so far I've not found anybody who's impressed by my being able to quote some soliloquies. Nobody seems to like Shakespeare. At least not day to day. People don't even like it when you compare them to a summer's day. I mean, thou art more lovely and more temperate. And rough winds do shake the darling buds of May, and summer's lease hath all too short a date. No, Shakespeare's strictly wrong there. Summer's lease hath way too long a date. It needs to chill out. We need to get back to winter ASAP. The best season. Summer's lease is ridiculous. It takes, especially nowadays, now that like winter now is what summer used to be, because this planet sucks. We kind of broke the weather, the climate a little bit. Just a little. On the bright side, right now is the coldest winter it will ever be in our lifetimes. This year's winter will be the coldest winter in our lives. It should be good.
Because it's constantly getting hotter due to global warming.
Also press play in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play. Because they keep putting in the news like, oh, this was the hottest June on record. This was the hottest July on record. This was the hottest August on record. It's like, yeah, we know. It's like that every single month, every single year. Because we're heating up. It's not really news at this point. I feel like we're all aware of this. It's just some people don't care.
Well,
Oh, we've got that from the short trek in the
Yeah.
in the previously on.
I think I think it was a Star Wars show. Maybe. I don't know. Some show that I recently watched had a last time on. Oh no, it was The Boys. The Boys had a last time on, and it was for a different show. I was like, who is this
Was-
person? What's going on?
Was it for Gen V or Gen Z or whatever? Gen V.
Gen V. It's like, who are these people? Where did you get that
I
from?
need to
What's
watch
happening?
Gen V.
It's good, but I only knew it existed because The Boys just made it matter. I had no idea it existed.
so we have to save all life in the galaxy this episode?
Yes.
Yep.
Well, yeah, the
In
two-part
the
episode.
universe.
Yeah, I mean,
Was that robotic control sounds, or was that a microphone glitch?
sorry, my cat's hitting the.
Oh, that's a cat. Why does your cat sound like Control? That literally sounds like the exact sound effect they use whenever they have one of the robot people moving around.
Yeah, my mic wasn't working earlier because I had transported it around and it had become disconnected from the USB hub.
Ah.
So because the audio jack has two rings, it had the sound rings. It's like, oh, it's absolutely fine, but the mic ring wasn't inserted.
Rings?
On an audio jack, 2.5 mil, I think it's 2.5 mil. It has two rings on it, or two or three. One of the rings is for sound, the other ring is for microphone.
Oh yeah, we're evacuating Discovery. Right.
Yeah.
Because we're gonna blow it up. Well, try anyway. I feel like we
Yeah.
could have tried a little harder, but oh well. What? Are we supposed to know what that was? I didn't recognize the snow globe. It looked a little Deep Space Nine-y, but obviously is not.
No, they totally got it from Tilly for Deep Space Nine.
The Cardassians did? I think Bajor right now is still independent. I think they're good. Because Bajor was annexed something like 50 years before DS9? Before TNG?
Maybe about 113, something like that.
Yeah, they're alright. I wonder what they're doing these days. Because they. What are they doing these days? Do we even know? Because, like, technically they're interstellar, but I don't think they even went anywhere.
They went to Cardassian once.
Yeah, they
Or a
went there
few
once,
times.
and then I think they just, like, chilled out on Bajor forever.
This episode of Discovery
Also, it was on
confirms
accident.
the Enterprise Constitution class has airplane escape chutes.
Which, it looks kind of weird. Because it feels like.
Hi everyone.
It feels like that would just break in gravity, but obviously that doesn't matter because they're in space. It doesn't look like
Yeah.
something that would work here on Earth, but no reason you can't just fold something out like that in space. It's all good.
So something
Yep.
funny I just learned though. I think like they have those inflatable escape ladders to reassure us. But if a plane really hits the ocean, it's probably gonna be going at 500 miles an hour. So there's nothing left for everyone else to just
I mean, people
jimmy
have
down.
survived
Yeah,
water landings,
actually-
quote unquote, before.
it's actually very survivable.
Okay.
It's just a nature of. It's just a matter of
What
how
angle
safely you
you're
can
coming in
land.
at will
yeah,
matter.
what angle or speed depends on what the actual issue is. But the vast majority of quote unquote crashes are actually everyone survives. There are a lot of crashes with not many injuries. Now, a lot of that is because the landing gear broke or something like that, so there's no actual harm issue.
Yeah, pilots they're kind of trained how to like skid along the runway for friction. I mean, it's just physics, right? Slow down the plane,
Yep.
drag. Um,
The signal led you to it. I can't speak at all today. Just to traumatize Pike, I guess.
Yeah. Absolutely no other reason for it.
And now you do, Pike.
Yep.
How do you feel about that, bud? You didn't tell her, right? I think the only one he tells is Una.
Yeah, the only person who knows is Una.
Ooh, spooky sound effects.
And he tells Una initially, if I remember rightly, so that she will reel him in if he tries anything.
I mean, so do you guys think AI is gonna destroy all of us, or is it gonna be more like Zora?
Or just like some of us.
No, I'm pretty sure it's gonna be equal opportunity genocidal.
I don't know, man.
I don't know, like people
We just-
didn't like Discovery and this Control plot line, but I think like Star Trek's always been prescient about the future, and
As long as we create data and not lore, we're good.
okay. It took 5 tries to get to Data though, so
I do feel like this should be a physical barrier, not a force field. For this evacuation tube, that feels unnecessarily risky.
thank you for telling me what that was, because I was trying to figure out where we were, because we've never seen that before.
Yeah, that's
I
That's-
definitely
that's why.
prefer the redress of the sets for Strange New Worlds compared to this. But this does look really good.
it's less.
That's a
colorful
whole
on Strange New
show.
Worlds, right?
This
Yeah.
is one episode. Like they didn't have the money compared to a whole show. Also, it's the first time we've seen NCC 1701 since the DS9 Trouble with Tribbles episode, I assume.
All right,
So
so
it's the
within
first
the
time we've seen
first-
it since the start of the season.
Okay.
every sound effect on this bridge is old TOS sounds. The door had a sound.
Yep.
We had the whistle.
Yeah.
Some sensor sweeps.
Yeah. The hairdo.
The character who barely existed in TOS. 2 characters who barely existed in TOS, really. But Una even less so.
You mean number 1?
I ain't in her chain of command. I can call her whatever I want.
No, I believe just in TOS even it was just credited as number 1.
Yes.
So like when you say barely existed, you mean like even unnamed
Oh,
generic.
I was talking about examples of technology that's coming back repeatedly before it was actually used recently. I've forgotten what it was now. But the holodriver communication, as we've talked about in the past, being one which comes up a few times.
Goes in and out of fashion.
I feel like we're exactly where Starfleet is in this episode. It's like we have so much knowledge, and a lot of it is like scraped from Reddit and Twitter. And
this is why Control is evil. It scraped the
yeah,
internet for its knowledge.
and then Mountain View, California, and Silicon Valley is just trying to hog this all for its own nefarious purposes. The show Westworld on HBO has
destroy it.
another dystopian future where basically the AI gives everybody jobs. And like that seems okay, you know, it's better than having unemployment, but it tells you that you're meant to be like a construction worker and you're really not suited for anything else based on your psychological profile.
They just had to plug the mystery computer into their database. Absolutely zero cybersecurity in Starfleet, even back here. You don't know where that database has been. Actually, you do know
Yeah.
where it's been. It's been everywhere.
Yeah.
It's so dangerous. Oh, if
And
only
we already
Giants was
killed
here for this.
Arium, which is we're mourning the loss of a crew member still.
We are?
Yeah, because we watched the Bell
You
Riots
are.
episode last week, but the show is still everybody's still reeling from their friend who died to save them all.
So I wonder if they just like had her on a green screen for that switching effect, and then they put the background in behind her for each of the ships.
It could just be the volume also.
Okay, so
Oh,
it
we
doesn't
have
go great. Good to know.
Yep.
yeah. Um,
Maybe we could get more ships?
They've already tried reaching out to Starfleet, or they don't have communication with Starfleet.
also, they have Starfleet Command
Could
on
we
their
jump
side.
to
So,
Starfleet? Could we just jump
like,
to
what?
the Delta Quadrant or something?
Yeah.
It's like, what's Control gonna do about it?
Hmm.
Pursue you?
Oh no, he
You could-
might get there in 120 years.
He's a good villain, as much as like the character is like very dislikable. He goes from like villain to like uber villain.
Yes, destroy it. No, cast it into the fire.
Um, you're out of order, Specialist Burnham. Commander Burnham.
I wonder if it would let us fly it into a sun. Because we can't just like start shooting it, because
Yeah.
it'll just jump away and then we'll lose it. But if we're on board, I'm just wondering how far it would be willing to go. It's like if they tried to fly it into a sun, would it just vent the atmosphere on the bridge? It's like, nah, man, this is my ship now. Also, they never bring up the sphere data in the future, right? Like Zora
It
is
becomes a
there as a
box.
character,
It
but
becomes Zora. Yeah.
Yeah.
it doesn't
the
like
bo-
solve all their problems anymore.
I mean, it kind of does. It shows us where Giorgio has to go because it can extrapolate where
yeah, it
the
does do
Guardian of Fur. So,
Yeah.
I mean,
Carl, you mean?
Yeah.
yeah.
Carl's pretty cool.
He is. They did a great job of like TOS. Just enough TOS. So and then also
this
like
was
in
a
that
long cold open. How
What
far
was
are
it,
we
a
in? We're
short-
14 minutes in.
wow. Short treks. We have that episode where the guys like hanging out with Zora and the Federation's like been collapsed.
The Vidrash. What even? Yeah. I mean, I don't expect we'll ever know what happened there. Because, like, that took
Yeah.
place after season 5 in the
Yeah.
far future. So it's even the farther far future.
Right.
So the
right.
Federation has not fallen, has it? Because, like, surely the Federation would still know they're called the Federation.
Yeah. I think people didn't even remember and stuff. Like at some point we're gonna forget we came from Earth in Isaac Asimov's Foundation. People think like it's either Sirius or Earth, but we're not sure.
Yeah.
Maybe we've
I mean, they have
already
a
forgotten.
fair idea of it. They sort of forget the location of Earth as well in some of the Foundation novels. At the end of the Foundation novels, they return to Earth.
We've grown so far past it that like it's like who cares?
For all we know, maybe that already happened. Maybe we came from some place called Caprica. Who's to say?
No, we've been here for at least
Maybe
a million years.
Maybe we came here from another planet a million years ago. Maybe we were little lemur spacemen. Space lemurs.
Maybe.
How long ago were we lemurs? Because I know we've been like humans for like 200,000 years, give or take.
Yeah, 600,000 if you want to push it, but yeah. So maybe like 5 million years ago we had the last common ancestor with chimps. So and then
Just
give it
Google
another
how
couple.
long ago were humans lemurs?
Well, more precisely, last common ancestor.
Well, yes.
Maybe your grandfather was a lemur.
If we evolved
but
from
mine.
lemurs, why are there still lemurs?
Mm.
Okay, Google is not helping me with that query.
I think we're like 2 or 3 million years away from chimps or great apes.
Let's see if Google knows that. Chimpanzee, human, last common ancestor. Between 13 to 5 million years ago.
Okay.
So it's been a minute.
Yeah. And then
So
lemurs would
whenever
be a
I
little
look
bit
at
more.
one of the great apes,
Mhm.
all I ever think
Yeah,
is that
we're
no,
not
these
killing
are just,
people for you.
all I
Sure,
think
sure.
is that these are just people. They look exactly like people.
Mm-hmm.
They behave like people.
Mm-hmm.
They look like people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, my best friend went to go see the gorillas in like Rwanda, and first I told him to be careful, but after he came back, I said, "Hey, you went to go see our cousins because they're our evolutionary cousins." Hey, Robo.
Hello.
Are you ready to go to the 29th century?
First, we have to refit all shuttles and pods for combat operation. What? How many spare weapons do we have? Do we like have spare phaser arrays we can put on the shuttle?
Replicators. We have replicators.
Hey, good one, Una.
Wait, what did she say?
She grabbed these experimental flyers and stuff, and retrofitted the ships, the shuttles with phasers, assuming shit would hit the fan.
We a carrier now.
I mean, this is a mess. This is a mess,
That's
isn't
it.
it? Okay.
That's a funky looking planet. Oh yeah, Tilly, you never told anybody,
Yep.
did you?
What?
About the short
She knows
trek where she
Zahian
met the queen.
royalty. This is also future Michael Burnham brings us here.
Wow, she remembered the whole
Yeah.
name. She only heard it once. Good job, Tilly. But we know that Zahida doesn't actually like give this to the Federation because Scotty's not able to do
Yeah.
it.
So, recrystallizing dilithium, but I thought dilithium was eventually just totally destroyed.
Well,
But don't we have an
Any
episode of...
anti-dilithium was.
Didn't in Relics, doesn't Jordy explain that we recrystallized the dilithium in the chamber?
yeah, like 250 years from now.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the TOS era they can't do it. in TNG era they can. Though in TOS era, they do figure out how to do it super easy. All they have to do is like push the dilithium against a nuclear reactor, and there you go. It's recrystallized. We did it.
Well,
It
True.
was super easy. It took them 5 minutes.
Alameda.
didn't they needed to collect the particles and then they used the particles to do it?
Something like that. I don't know.
But
And I think in the Kelvin timeline we have to do it too.
Voyage home is off limits for Jibs.
so, all right, hold on a second. If they can recrystallize dilithium and dilithium is never totally consumed, then the only time they would need dilithium is when they're building a new warp core, right?
Largely.
Presumably, yeah.
So when they have the burn that destroys all the dilithium in the future, so it destroys all the dilithium in the ships
Wessel.
too, I assume.
Any
Yeah.
ship that's currently at warp.
Because it currently has an active warp core.
Yeah,
Right.
not even at warp. But yeah.
If someone said warp power to the shields, then they blow up. So they lose a lot.
Is
of
he
it
breaking
because
up?
It exploded.
Are they
No.
breaking up?
Yeah.
He's explaining why he's going on the away team assignment, and it's like, it's
Because they already broke up before.
yeah.
And now he's
Yeah.
saying, I'm moving on with my life. I'm going somewhere else. They don't want to. He doesn't want to hang out anymore.
You could have been the black
We can't.
medical
we can't just be
officer on the
friends.
Enterprise.
Dr. Mbenga?
He was saying he's not on the Enterprise, basically, and he could have been.
But
another black
Hugh's
medical
not
officer.
black, right? He's like mixed. He's like what is he?
Person of color, I suppose.
Isn't
Hope
this
you
just
all
a
are
form that
enjoying
she
the
took?
last watchable season of Discovery.
No, we haven't got
You know,
Last
season five
watchable
yet.
season.
I want to amend my thing because actually I think season 4 and 5 are pretty good also. Oh wow, ice cream? Is this like Deanna Troy here or something?
It's vanilla, though. She's the opposite of Deanna Troy.
Yeah. And I see
Deanna
mint
Troy
in
was
there,
big
too.
on the soft sciences. Poe here was big
Fudge.
on the hard sciences.
Fudge. I love the sideways blink. There's chocolate and mint in there. So,
It's a nictitating membrane.
um,
Nictitating membrane. Here review. Animals on Earth have nictitating membranes. We used to have nictitating membranes. Some people
It's a
still do.
nictitating membrane.
It's a second eyelid. It's a second eyelid that blinks in
like
the other
the
direction.
Vulcans.
Like, you know, when you look in the corner of your eye and there's that little membrane, like that's the vestigial remnants of the nictitating membrane, that little bit in the corner of
yeah, I'm always
tissue.
getting crust out of there when I wake up.
Well, that's because
Oh, this is classic young adult novel trope, or young adult movie.
Mm-hmm.
Because what is she, like 16? And she's like, oh, she's doing calculus in the air. She's such a super genius.
They actually do this in the Foundation as well, but in Foundation she's using super futuristic technology which projects it in the air, and she's writing in the air her
Maybe
calculus
it's
and stuff.
projected on her nictitating membranes.
mm,
The crustiness is from eyelash mites.
Planck level energy? Does that make sense?
No, Planck level. Planck just means a multiplier for the
There's-
velocity of the photon or something
Planck-
like that.
I think she's saying that she
Planck
needs
scale.
the smallest physically
Or the frequency of the
possible
photon.
amount of energy.
Yeah, it's actually a Planck unit of time, though. But okay.
Well, Planck is used for a lot of
The
stuff.
Planck's constant is used for a large amount of
It's
things.
the smallest unit of time you can actually count. Well,
Yeah.
That's more usage of Planck's constant than the actual thing. The Planck's constant. I don't know off the top of my head. Planck's constant
So I
is a
guess the
multiplier
Planck
for the frequency
unit of
of
energy
photons.
is like c times Planck's unit of time or something.
Ah, of course, it's 6.6260715 times 10 to the minus 34
Yeah.
joule hertz. Yes, of course.
Yeah,
Sorry,
thank
joule
you.
seconds, actually.
Joule
It's joule
seconds,
over
yeah.
hertz.
Okay. Wow, joule seconds. That's a new unit.
Physics, when you start
It's
getting
because
to
it's
like even
Planck's
bachelor
constant,
Energy
level
over
the annoying
frequency.
paradoxical unit
units
of
keep
measure
getting
that technically
weird.
defines itself.
What were you
It's
saying,
energy over frequency is why it's the
Like even the unit foot pounds
Yeah,
feels like
yeah.
a really weird unit. And that's like basic
Newtons.
level kinetic
So-
energy stuff.
We make up a new term called newtons instead of saying like foot pounds.
Because it sounds stupid.
Foot pounds isn't energy. Foot pounds is force.
Force, yes. But it's so are newtons.
Newton is force also. So
Newton meters is force.
Okay.
it's just when you come up with an equation, you gotta marry the units that you're multiplying.
The Newton, symbol N, is the unit of force of the International System of Units, defined as 1
Yep.
kilogram times meter per second squared. Kilogram meter per second squared.
Yep.
The force which gives a 1 kilogram mass and acceleration. of
The
1 meter per second
equivalent
squared.
the equivalent to foot pounds isn't newtons. It's Newton meters.
Okay.
a Newton meter is just an unit of energy. There's so many units of energy.
The equivalent to newtons would be pounds.
This is why I didn't actually go
Yeah.
into
Newton
physics
meters
as a
is
career.
called
The Units
newtons.
make no sense.
No, Newton meters is a measure of energy because
Oh,
it's
so here,
a
class on
measure
gravity
of
9.9. Oh, dang it. I got
Yeah.
the screenshot slightly too late, so I got the first letters cut off of everything.
yeah. But anyway, so yeah, Newton meters is measuring how much force it takes to move something over a certain distance. So therefore, it's the energy you put in to do that. So you
Like-
put in a certain number of newtons for a certain number of distance, multiply that together, you get the energy required to do that motion. So 1 newton applied over 1 meter is 1 joule of energy.
So the galactic coordinates of Zahia
No.
are grid 7, quad 9, block 3, sector 1. Cool.
You have to
4 moons.
put it over time to get to joules.
No,
Yeah.
that's
Joules
watts.
is
Over
a-
time is watts. Energy is just a thing. It doesn't have a time basis to it.
Is Newton meter and joule the same unit then?
They are effectively the same thing, yes. Newton meter specifically talking about it being applied to a distance
Is
and
that-
force over distance.
Is that her
force multiplied by
recrystallization
distance.
chamber?
It's a time crystal charging device.
Why does it look so
Ah.
organic?
It looks like honeycomb made of cell fiber membranes.
Like, it looks evil. It looks like it's going to come to life and eat somebody.
No, it looks like the meat that you put on a spit and you like cut off slices of it to make a gyro.
Dark energy for the crystal. Ah, yes, of course. You have to it's a
Okay.
time. You have to channel dark energy into it.
A
Not
what?
just your average everyday.
A what
energy.
e-review? What's the name of it? What's the
mean-
name of that Greek sandwich?
A euro.
You can buy them with euros.
A gyro. A gyro.
The word hero also comes from that gyro original thing.
Michael doesn't have a martyr complex. Don't be ridiculous.
She totally has a martyr complex.
I mean,
I feel like everybody in Starfleet has a martyr complex.
Yeah.
Somewhat, yeah.
No, it's my turn to sacrifice myself for the greater good.
And you know, the person who has it the worst is the captain. Because like, captain goes down with the ship. Thanks, Janeway.
Yeah, it's very, very traditional that way.
Very heroic.
Janeway would never go down the ship if she could kill someone else in the process
Which she did
by
several
having them do it.
times.
Nope.
Notably when she rammed the time ship.
Krenim.
Yeah.
Notably when she executed Tuvix.
I don't feel like that was so much a self-destruct thing.
So,
That is something I love about Janeway, though. How
Have you-
much she loves the self-destruct.
she likes to murder. So she, do you suppose that Neelix and Tuvok remember everything from being Tuvix as well? And they're like, yeah, you killed us. Like, you killed.
She just straight up fucking murdered him.
Yeah, she straight up fucking murdered him.
I'm pretty sure that he feels nothing but gratitude because
And I appreciate that that was
OMG.
canonized exactly like that.
Yep.
Thank you, Lower Decks. I'm
What?
glad we're on the same page.
That she straight up murdered Tuvix?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lower Decks uses those exact words.
Yes, that's why we use them.
Yes.
her parents came to say goodbye to her.
Yes.
So
Wait,
So
how
they
did
said
they-
that Janeway.
we decided to jump into the 29th century already.
Yeah,
Sarek,
we
this is about
decided
to be a
that.
battle zone. Get out of here.
Yeah, we decided that Burnham's jump into the 29th
Tuvix and
century,
Tuvok
whatever
need
it
to
is.
unpack their mutual knowledge.
Wait, Wait, hang on. So the reason they couldn't get more ships from Starfleet to help out is because they couldn't contact Starfleet. But Sarek's here, and he's about to. Couldn't he contact Starfleet, or couldn't they just like jump to Earth?
Yeah, we are now
Wait, what's-
pointing out some plot holes.
So hang on. Previously they were fugitives. Are they still considered fugitives? Like, does Starfleet not trust them?
It's possible that you could argue that maybe Control could persuade them enough that there'd be too much doubt over it. Starfleet still, at this current time, I think, believes in Control.
Maybe we could scan Captain Leland and see if he's a scary robot man.
Tuvok choking Neelix out of his lapse in emotion.
Like, I feel like this is easily testable by Starfleet. We could just solve it. We could do what Lower Decks did. And it's like you hand it to Starfleet and they just take care of it off screen. It's fine.
Atma's watchable is a stretch.
Tuvix would have to unpack that after separation.
Tuvix is the one who got unpacked.
Ha ha! Yep.
Sarek, how did you get here?
Yeah.
What
Magic?
happened? So, okay. They were on a beach before. Amanda walked up to him with a burning bowl, I assume incense or something. I didn't really catch what happened to that scene. Well, I think she might be crazy enough to try jump.
She is your daughter.
I feel like there's a hug coming. I can sense it. Yes. It's fine. It's fine. Don't worry about it. You're gonna be besties forever. Okay, who here? It's weird that Commander Nilsson is here. Because, like, Michael and Nilsson aren't friends. It's just that Nilsson is Ariam's actor. And she and Ariam were friends. Like, I don't think they've ever spoken before. Nobody knows what the future holds? Well, there's a way to find out, my dude.
Yep.
They
So-
use the slow charging. You need to get the appropriate charger for it. God, this is what you get. This, I'm not sure Postbeats is even warp capable. We're coming to them.
I don't
Need
I don't like the
Tesla
part
supercharger.
in the prior scene when all the crew members are saying we're coming with you. Ash is in the group, and then he's like, "Yeah, I'm not coming."
Yep.
So it's like he doesn't belong there. But in a way, the way you tell stories in TV and theater, it makes sense for him to be there. But he should not have been in that group.
So are they a couple again?
Look, they still.
They
still have
tugged
feelings for each other.
before.
He works for Section 31, but he still cares about the crew.
Okay, I feel like that answers my question.
It's gonna be weird. It's gonna be weird when she meets her 29th century boyfriend.
No, he's saying goodbye. That's a goodbye kiss because
Yep.
he has a lot of things to take care of here in Section 31 with Giorgio.
Also, like, even marriage is death shall you part, and he will have been dead for like 900 years. It's all good.
Yeah.
No, he's Klingon, so he'll live like
He'll have
He'll
been
only be
dead
dead
for
for, like,
800
800
years.
years.
It's all good.
You're still ashes at that point.
It is weird to me how long Klingons live. It feels like they would be a species that, like, lives fast, dies young.
well, they do, but usually from natural causes.
We've
But
actually got a whole bunch of.
They're like
off-screen
20 by the
development.
age of 8. They're like human 20-year-olds.
Hmm.
Remember when like
Conscripted into the
Alexander was a
military.
child soldier? Yeah.
Yep. Thanks for that bit of canon,
And Worf was
Alexander.
Worf was totally okay with it. He was like, "Yep, that's some guy I know."
I mean, we had teenage Alexander and other teenage Klingons.
I mean, but they're 8.
Okay. So
Yeah, teenage Klingon would be like 6 or 7.
would you guys move to the 29th century if given the chance?
Depends.
Where?
I mean, our 29th century or Star Trek's 29th century? Because our 29th century is going to
Worf's
be
not a
super
good father.
screwed over.
He doesn't care what he does as long as he's not at home.
We have fully established that Worf is a terrible parent.
Yeah.
Every child that's ever
And
in
a
Worf's
terrible
care
brother.
disappears.
Worf
And husband.
just stay away from Worf. It's dangerous to get close to Worf. But yeah, answer the question here, View. Which 29th century?
I mean, Star Trek's 29th century because that's what we're doing.
Because even though
Even
the
Star Trek's
Federation
29th century
falls-
is pretty screwed up.
Yeah, but if we're staying on Earth, Earth itself is still a paradise. It's just that they
Right.
don't really have relations with the wider community. Earth is great.
Yeah.
They're just a bit, isolationist.
You guys are just
Bit xenophobic.
reactionaries. You like your little 21st century BS.
What?
No, I don't. What gave you no? Who likes the 21st century? The 21st century is it's awful.
Yep.
Yeah, and
Well,
it
if
gets
you were
worse.
if you were from the 16th century, you would probably think the 21st century is pretty great.
Okay,
Yeah.
sure, but doesn't mean it's great.
I mean,
Or like 12th
personally,
century.
I like making my own wine and stargazing and being able to see the night sky and
which you'll have a ton of time to do on 29th century Paradise Earth.
Yeah, I don't see any problem with that.
Basically,
talking
in
about
all of
the
Star
Earth-
Trek, as long as you're hanging out on Earth, you're good. Other than the
Yeah,
period
when
that's
the
like
Bring
right
tags and when
now
the
for the
Zendia
next 50
tag.
years.
oh, non has an
When
H
the-
in it because in India we make naan bread, which is 2 A's in the middle.
Yes.
Are you Indian?
Very much so.
Oh,
Still from New York, though.
Yeah.
He doesn't live
I'm
in
also-
India.
I'm also a global citizen. I care about all
That
humanity.
doesn't mean anything.
No, I feel like at one point we won't care about what country we're from.
By the 23rd century, presumably.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm.
At which point people start calling us Earthers.
Yeah.
Also,
And
like,
Martians.
globalization is just the acceleration of meeting people, the rate at which people interact. So, like, the races that we have right now,
Humans.
about from 5000 BC,
Humans.
we like sorted out, human populations that migrated to East Asia and Northern Europe
Humans.
and the Americas. But once we start like for lack of a better word, interbreeding again, it's gonna be harder to tell us apart.
Oh, of course, I remember how Spock remains in the past again. Sorry,
Sorry, was that Soma?
I remember why Spock remains in the past.
Oh yeah. Well, no spoilers, please.
Yeah.
He's officially still on board to
Because he's watched
join
TOS and knows what needs to happen.
yeah. Yeah.
He knows he's crucial to history, which is what Boimler tells him.
No, it was cool though how
How,
Spock was on board.
how do
there.
they have this many shuttles and drones? Where did these come
Yeah.
from?
Number one, Una.
Okay, sure,
Control?
but like, where did they fit in the ship? I feel like you could make a whole nother Enterprise with how much metallic mass is out here. You see the weird, gross, organic murder cage. We could just remove the cage and have one of the dots do it. I feel like we don't need to be here. We could do this remotely. We have robots. Or we could have Captain Pike do it. He's already been traumatized by it.
Oh, we're harnessing. No, never mind. Wrong show. Wrong.
Well, since
This could have
since
been
he's
an
locked,
email.
since he's locked his timeline, he could totally do it and have no fear of anything happening.
Yeah, it'd be fine. Also, speaking
Oh,
of
we
this,
are
could have been an email. Maybe we can send an email to Starfleet and we can get more ships.
We're harnessing the Klingon time crystal, right?
Yeah. We need
Yeah,
to
okay.
charge the Klingon time crystal with dark energy so we can put it
Okay.
in the time suit to bring the
Okay.
sphere data to the future.
Thank you, because I somehow forgot that plot detail.
Do you really need to sit here and stare at it? Can't you just leave? I mean, what are you monitoring?
Also, they need to have
Just to make
security.
sure it's not becoming unstable, sort of thing.
Well, like, she can't do
You
that
need-
anyway if she's having hallucinations.
Yeah, you need 2
Please.
guards, and they need to enforce a rule that nobody touches the time crystal.
Watch it over a camera.
Yeah.
Michael
I do
looks
like
like
the
she's
resolutions
super
for the
into
things
this.
we do over the series. Bring come together and form the why we succeed to the final part, which is what this next episode is going to do very well.
The whole crew.
No, well, the crew, but also other people who come in to play.
Oh yeah. Laurel even.
With the Twitch. Then yeah,
That's called
I
a
know you
wink.
wink. Wink. Yes, a wink. Yes, I know.
Because if you remember at the beginning, Michael Burnham pulled out her phaser and trained it on Captain Giorgio, and Pike was like, "Why are you doing that?"
Wait, when
Admiral.
he first got on Discovery, he specifically told them he knows about Captain Lorca. He knows what the deal was. So he knows about the mirror universe.
Yes, that's why he
just
did the
lied to him and
wink.
just said he was evil or something.
Yeah.
He was a
Or he
Klingon
died, right?
traitor.
That's the reason why he did the wink with the mirror universe thing. Because he's doing, yeah, I know it already.
Yeah, but he didn't know why Burnham trained her phaser on Captain Giorgio.
Maybe.
So that's kind of stuff's
All right.
highly classified.
Now it's time for a Star War. There's-
Also, if you
Oh yeah.
We're gonna
Ryan,
have a solid
why?
45 minutes of blasting.
also cue up the Klingon opera or Wagner or whatever you like, because
I do
You haven't
wish when the
experienced
Klingons
Wagner
arrived,
until you've listened to the original Klingon.
I do wish when the Klingons arrived that they played the classic Klingon theme.
Yeah.
from motion picture. From
No,
motion
I
picture.
do a rendition of it for you, but sorry, there are rules against singing.
I
did
do it.
my own
but
little
I'm-
edit of it to bring that theme in. I don't think I have it anymore though.
Written, of course, by the great
Was it Jerry Goldsmith?
Jerry Goldsmith. Thank you, Robo.
All right, press play in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, blur. Which I believe is the same theme they use at the start of First Contact.
It's Worf's theme.
With
Yep.
the,
Yes.
Yeah, Worf.
Yeah.
With the Defiant, actually, but Jerry Goldsmith, of course, also did the soundtrack for Star Trek: First Contact
The motion picture.
and the motion picture. He did 4 Star Trek films, which was a majority at the time.
Yes, that one. Thank you.
Okay.
But we don't get that theme here. We just get the Imperial Star Destroyer klaxon.
I think we're just so busy focused on how our heroes win that. So, it's not you,
Hello.
but it's me, Dr. Stamets.
No, it's definitely him. Like
Hi.
McCoy says, if someone tells you it's me, not you, it's definitely you.
True. That's not very comforting, though, Ryan.
Yeah, well,
It's definitely you, your review.
I mean, I've never been able to make a relationship work past a year, so I'm not really in a position to give advice other than love yourself and be yourself.
man, it's been a long time since we've had dating tips. It's been
I think-
years. I only remember one, which is dating tip number 1, just talk to her like a person.
Yeah.
Hey, don't sweat the small stuff.
I think, like, TNG, of course, with Data has tons of those, but then DS9 also gets into that territory. Oh, Enterprise
Oh my
is,
god,
of
someone's
course...
actually running through. No, this is in my Star Trek. You're supposed to slow walk, nice casual pace through the hallway.
Yeah, that's your sense of urgency.
She's
Oh
like,
wow,
where
we
did
have
all these shuttles come from? How did
they
they
were
fit?
never in the shuttle bit before. I think you know what it is. We took it from the control star base.
Like, look at how many are coming out.
That's
and
more
there are
shuttles than could
already a
possibly
fleet.
fit.
I mean, the Enterprise's shuttle bay
Don't
is
cut off your
impossibly
co-worker's
huge as
face
well.
and
To
wear
be
it as
fair.
a mask to impress a lady. That was a good dating tip from Star
Oh
Trek.
yeah. Oh, that was from Voyager with the Vidians. That's a
Oh
good
my
tip.
God.
Wear her coworker's face.
Yeah. It
Ah.
didn't work out.
Wow.
What are these
Thanks, chat.
things?
These are little
They look like.
individual crewman pods. It looks like they repurposed
Are they
biobeds and put
worker
thrusters
bees?
in a gun.
Are they worker bees? The 23rd century worker
I
bees
don't
armed
think
with
so, 'cause we see
phaser
worker-
rifles?
We
No, the
see worker
Taurans are
bees
very much
earlier.
behind.
Maybe we could have bought ourselves more time by just warping somewhere.
This
jumping somewhere.
this one shot scene is really obnoxious.
I mean, they haven't cut the camera once, so it's a lot of technical skill also. Because like people are moving around the camera and it's going 360, so 5 out of 5 direction.
Why are the subtitles so wonky?
Yeah, they're very, very much led.
I love the camera going in a circle around everyone. They really
No, what is this? You can't do this in my Star Trek. No, you're making it worse.
This
Stop
is-
it.
This is very different to the normal Star Trek
Who directed this episode?
cinematography. That was about to be my question.
Jonathan Frakes.
Was it Johnny? Because he did that weird like rotate from the ceiling camera move before. That was really weird.
Nobody is cooking or baking a pizza in this episode, so I doubt it's Jonathan Frakes. But let's find out.
he did the Bell Rides episode last week, part 2.
Yeah.
So
Directed by Asun Sanmi. Who is that? What else did they do? Oh, they actually did a lot of Star Trek Discovery. 14 episodes. Including the previous episode. They did part 1 as well. They also did Calypso.
Calypso was very well directed.
I guess they were just trying something different here, but I don't think it worked. Don't do that.
It's not the style of Star Trek, not even the style of Discovery, unfortunately, but it's nice to try new things.
That's pretty much exactly what I said about Subspace Rhapsody. It's like,
But that
yeah, it was
worked,
really
that was
weird,
quite
doesn't
fun.
really fit, but hey, we're trying something new.
Yeah.
So the original plan is just to send the suit forward in time, right?
No, Michael needs to go with it.
Okay.
She's
Michael in the
doing,
suit.
this is her martyr complex again that they mentioned.
So Michael
And
in
then
the
everybody
suit.
on the Discovery is saying, "Oh no, we're gonna go with you to the future."
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, because we're all friends.
Except Spock, because he has to do TOS stuff.
Yeah.
And Tyler has unspecified. Tyler said
No.
he needs to leave before the battle begins to go do something, which we know is to get the Klingons, but
Yeah.
he didn't tell
Well,
anybody
actually-
that's what he was doing.
Spock is on the ship to go back to go forward to the 29th century.
Yeah, he's gonna change his mind later, though.
I think his shuttle's injured and he can't go. So
You know, something about the design of these ships remind me of the Dominion ships.
Yep. The Beatles, bug ships.
Yeah. Jem'Hadar attack ship, they're called. Thank you.
Yeah, but they call them bug ships in the series.
Do they? I have no memory of that.
Yeah.
also, Discovery this last episode is in a wider aspect ratio than the rest of the season. They give you because it's so action oriented. There's more stuff
You
to
have
look
to
at.
see less of the content to be able to cope with it.
Mm,
There are some questionable shots in the rest of this episode, which is true. The story of this episode is pretty good, but yeah.
No, I love
cine-
it. I love it.
stuff
Like,
is-
the whole season comes around full circle and all the mysteries are solved. It's not like, a lot of times they leave plot holes undone because they don't care. But here, every single thing did matter.
I think my number one complaint with this series is the excessive flames on the bridge.
Yeah.
And isn't there also a severe lack of rocks on the bridge? They replaced the rocks with fire.
I think we get rocks here.
Do we get rocks? Keep an
We
eye out
get
for
some rocks.
Yeah, things are pretty bad in this episode.
Because, like, in old Star Trek, there were constantly explosions on the bridge. There were, like, sparks. But, yeah, I don't remember a lot of persistent fire.
There is one episode in the later seasons of Discovery where Discovery literally just has these fire emitters going off the entire time for some weird reason.
Yeah, in other Star Trek, the console would spark and the person would go flying off.
The only times that come to mind of the bridge being on fire in old Trek is, like, some alternate universe stuff where the ship was about to explode.
Yeah. Oh, wow. So look, we haven't gotten a battle this huge since Dominion War.
Does feel weird that they're not moving, though, because these are... They can move. They can fight at warp.
Yeah, but they need to be somewhat in the same space for this. However, Saru did just say move the ship, and the ship hasn't moved.
Evasive maneuvers! I wonder if those are... Those look like real lasers shooting out into the suit. Yeah, I don't think those are CG. I think that's a real laser. Alright, calm down, Pike. There's no need to yell. I don't remember what's happening with this shuttle. No, that's not how that works, Poe. Probably. It might be exactly how that works. Are they in orbit of Zahia? Where are they? Are they just in space, deep space?
Yeah, they met like a rendezvous point. Like it's a moon that they crash on or something. Like Spock. Wow. I mean, I've been watching Stranger Worlds, but that Enterprise bridge looks very amazing. Even though it's just a redress of the Discovery set.
But they spent... I mean, we have to get a Strange New World series at this point. I mean, they've spent so much money on the design of the ship and the bridge and all the uniforms. It'd be a waste if we didn't have a Captain Pike show.
I mean, it's such a fair bit of effort from the fans to say, hey, yeah, we want this series.
Yeah, I mean...
I vote that we bring... That we, like, strategically place photon torpedoes throughout the ship, and then if we're in danger of being defeated, we just detonate the Discovery. Because the computer can't
Isn't that
stop
a
us if it's just a
self-destruct
physical
device?
torpedo. We don't need a self-destruct system. We just need a torpedo next to the warp core that we detonate.
And, self-destruct is just like dramatic. Like if you really want to do the job.
Sir.
There's another outtake there, but I don't remember what's different about it.
Oh yeah, so the Federation's a bad guy in this episode. Because that's all Section 31 ships.
Are we the baddies?
Well, our guys are the good guys, but yeah.
Didn't they say that they were going to make a Section 31 series?
It's
A
it's
movie?
a film now.
Now it's and it's
Supposedly they're done
filming
filming, right?
Yeah, it's coming out any day now.
in December, I believe, is the alleged release date. I still don't believe it until I actually see it. I don't believe them.
Until it's going to be playing on my screen.
Discovery's
and
move
over-
in.
Rocks.
Oh my
there were
god!
rocks
Is
on
this an
the-
evasive maneuver? They're listing lazily to the right. I feel like this is just giving them more of an angle to be shot at, though. Is this a good maneuver?
They're like protecting each other's underbellies, like two stegosauruses.
I also, if I were control here, I think I would just have one of the ships just ram Enterprise, just get it out of the equation immediately.
Oh, here we get the interior shot.
No, stop it. What have they done?
That's a lot of
You fool! What have you done?
brewery inside a starship.
Oh, we got a close up of the rocks.
Yeah. By the way, hi, Pyrite. Nice to
Yes, welcome.
meet you. Welcome.
Thank you.
We've been expecting.
There were some rocks.
Yeah, there's a lot of rocks in this corridor. Bye, Stamets.
I mean,
It's fine. We don't need him anymore. He finished his job. We're good. Keep moving.
yeah. Do we need the spore drive this episode?
We're mid-battle right now. Just take the suit and keep going.
No one
Yep.
needs the spore drive. Also, his partner left him, so he's probably dead on the inside anyway.
Stamets
Ooh, look at those
ranks
beam
very low on his discovery scorecard.
That's not true. So in the next episode, when the Osira in the next season, when Osira wants him, Michael Burnham has to eject him inside a force field because he's too valuable to.
I'm sorry.
fall.
I didn't communicate my discovery scorecard metrics.
That's true.
Like I said, the writing in the episode itself is actually really good. It's a bit of the CGI and cinematography which lets it down slightly.
No, we don't have time for a pep talk. Go. Get going.
Well,
Absolutely
we
zero
have to
sense
play.
of urgency with these people.
They were running earlier. Let them off the hook.
Now, they had to run earlier to buy themselves time to chat.
Also, this is the mom's music, so you know when you step into your parents' shoes, we all gotta do that at some point.
Something about the way this is shot.
You know, when you
really
step
makes
into
me
your
feel
mother's
like
time
Sneak was really
travels
short. I don't know
bodysuit,
why.
Morphin
it makes you
time.
think she's short.
Yeah, something about the height of the suit when she was standing next to it. It just looked not weird exactly, but just,
Maybe she is
I don't know.
short.
No, she's
Are you height shaming her?
average.
She can be whatever height she wants.
You got no love for short queens?
Self-adjusting, like the shoes on Back to the Future.
Sonequa
The
Martin
jacket.
Green is 5'5",
Marty's
so pretty much average height.
jacket. 5'5" is pretty short.
For a
women?
woman, it's pretty normal.
Yeah, it's about average. Slightly shorter than average.
Let me see. Average female height in the United States is 5 feet 4 inches.
So it's actually larger than average, taller than average.
I'm only interested in D1 athletes, all right?
What's the average male height? Isn't it like 5'9", 5'10"?
5'10", probably. 5'9",
Well, the first
5'10",
Google
somewhere in
result
there.
says 5'9", and I'm not going to dig any further.
Sounds about right.
It's around there, in any case. So no, Sonequa is not short.
I mean, relative to average women height, but relative to the actor who
Man,
plays
relative to
Spock,
like the elites in Halo 2, wow, she's super short.
Yeah.
yeah. Relative to the Empire State Building, she's tiny.
Okay,
Ooh,
Robo.
I believe now we're gonna do some Ender's Game here.
Yes,
we
and
have
this is a fantastic CG shot.
This is like the third time she's been ejected into space, but okay.
I mean, if you work in space, it's bound to happen sometime, surely.
True. Also, in the motion picture, oh wow, you have Kirk
Wait, can't
and
we just
Spock.
take her in the shuttle? All right.
You have Kirk and Spock in this Evo suit, but this is way better.
You know, looking at this, actually, I'm not sure this is a great idea, because if one of those gets hit, surely she's just going to be shredded by debris.
She likes to walk on the wild side.
It's to prevent her from getting hit directly by fire and being targeted.
I mean, I get that part, but I feel like this is actually a bigger risk.
Somewhat, yeah.
This feels really dangerous. Look how close they are to her. Well, fortunately, they're exploding in that cool sci-fi way where they just have the fireball and then they just disappear completely.
You're right, though. This episode is one big action battle.
Yeah, it's just all blasting all the time.
Like, you might
Except
get dizzy.
for that bit where Admiral Cornwell has to have a dramatic moment. Then they do that a little. Oh, we also need to have a casual conversation between Spock and Michael.
Yeah, brother sister time.
Yeah.
Which, again, really not the time for it, guys. Who could it be?
Something or someone.
Oh my god, he even turned the lights out in the corridor before he came in. For extra dramatic effect.
So, you know that trope in movies when you kill the bad guy and he just keeps coming back?
Sure,
I'm
like
familiar with that
in
Halo
Halloween.
5. I don't know about a trope in general.
Yeah. It's a horror movies, actually, yeah.
No, it's a trope. Yeah. What about it?
This Leland guy is like that.
And yet somehow
Well-
Leland, he shot a bunch of people on the bridge, but none of them lethally.
Yeah.
Everyone's gonna
And
be
he's
okay.
And he's AI controlled, but he can't hit. He can't aim for his life.
Wait, what did you say? The lock mechanism? What are you talking about?
If you stop bothering her about her pronunciation, Ryan, she could open the turbo lift door.
Look, we spent like 4 months making fun of William Shatner's pronunciation of everything. I want to make fun of her pronunciation a little bit. Because that didn't make any sense. See, this ship has debris.
I thought this was a moon. This is like a.
This is one of the larger ships, possibly.
This is a control ship they blew up.
So temporal is also pronounced wrong. It should be temporal. I mean, unless you want shrimp tempura with that.
Oh, they turned off the beam phasers. They were doing the beams earlier.
Here we go.
Ugh.
Oh
This is what you
my.
get buying torpedoes from the lowest bidder.
Yeah.
Bet they got it from the Karma. Worthless weapons. Wait, but that means... Wait. Normally, photon torpedoes detonate on the shields, and that's pretty much fine. But if they don't detonate, they just pierce the shields? Like, if the Enterprise doesn't have shields right now, they should be dead. How did the torpedo get through?
I think so. Maybe the torpedo. So that's a Section 31 torpedo. So
That's what my
maybe
guess is going to be. It's some special one. Or they
they're
knew
all
the
Section
shield
31
frequency. Or something.
torpedoes.
it looks like a prototype though, because we've never seen that
Yeah.
before in the series. And also, it looks like so maybe it has shields of its own, and the
Shields that keep
shield
us-
harmonics were able to get through the shields by remodulating the shield frequency of the Enterprise, and then it's able to
Oh,
penetrate.
you mean they expanded its AT field to neutralize the AT field of the Enterprise? Gotcha.
They rotated the shield
Oh
mutation.
gosh.
I still don't know what mutation means, but I know that
I have
Martok says it.
I have mixed feelings about Neo Genesis Evangelion.
Girl power.
Yeah, this is definitely one of those scenes.
Just what? That makes
I
no
mean, I'm
sense.
just saying. Sorry, I just meant to say, usually the bomb squad is a bunch of men, but here we send
If
two
two
girls.
men
to
enter the
defuse-
turbo lift, do you say boy power?
No, I didn't mean to be sexist, but
Yeah, you did.
I was just saying it's good to see women defusing bombs, not just men.
About the whole diffusing part,
Well,
they're gonna try.
you're gonna try. I really like Burnham's ultra widescreen display here. I need myself a 49-inch widescreen monitor.
I wonder if that's like actually being projected into space, because that doesn't really seem physically possible, or it's just representation of like a screen in her helmet.
Hmm.
Oh, they turned the beams back
Possibly.
on. They figured them out. Okay. They're a little inconsistent between shots about what weapons each ship is using.
You can't tractor that torpedo out of the saucer section.
Well, the tractor beam is connected to the
There's a
net
lot
on
of
the
rocks
bottom
on
of
the
the ship.
bridge at the moment.
Okay.
Why don't you just beam it out?
Space reasons.
Just beam it
There
out.
we go.
See,
Klingons.
that should have been Worf First Contact Klingon theme.
Or Ride of the
Bum
Valkyries.
bum 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 bum.
Dun, da, 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 da.
No. It's definitely got to be the Klingon theme.
And here's the off-screen character development or species development.
She's just mowing over the control ships. By the way,
How? These
her-
are Bronze Age primitives. How did they figure out how to fly these?
also,
Where did they even get them? Because the Baul are...
Laurel's ship is
They
bigger
did explain
than
it very briefly. There we go.
Laurel's ship is bigger than the scimitar from Nemesis. It's bigger than the mining ship from
It's a big
2009.
fella.
It basically is like the Imperial Star Destroyer.
These ships from
her,
TOS will arrive momentarily.
It's more like her baby daddy convinced her to join the team.
I do really love how just into this whole battle Laurel is.
Yeah.
She's having a great time this whole episode.
Well, more people should have showed up because it is a fight for all life in the galaxy, not just Kelpians and Klingons.
I mean, I can't imagine like we even told the Romulans.
Right.
I wouldn't imagine we really told anybody. Okay, the Klingon cleave ship actually looks kind of weird in wide shot.
It looks like a Klingon's forehead in the front.
It's cool in close up.
Yeah. So no one knows you like your brother or sister. They know just how to needle you.
Michael maybe should leave a signal at like San Francisco or something. Maybe that's how we get Starfleet here.
Oh, Spock has green blood on his cheeks.
Yeah.
No, Spock. That one didn't work out. We didn't use that one.
Yeah.
We use that to figure out the story of the Red Angel. That it's real, because we didn't know if it was.
So we're just
a
saying Spock is
hallucination.
wrong here, straight up.
He's half wrong.
Oh, that
No,
must be his human half.
Spock's not wrong. Because look, they're waiting for the Red Angel to show up or whatever. But he's like, no, you need to do X, Y, Z.
No, but specifically he was saying they had to go to Terrelysium so that they knew they could go there in the future. But they don't go in the future, it never comes up again.
Yeah.
I think he was just giving the audience a synopsis of the season. Because it's been very winding.
I think the writers just changed their minds between seasons about what they wanted to do.
Because we were so busy like trying to find Spock and then figure out his mental illness, and then
Well, they weren't fully certain of what they actually really wanted to do for season 3 until they were writing it.
Gross.
Ew.
Yes, thank you for the exposition. Wait, why even stop? If the sphere data is physically not here, just lock him in the room and leave. Just, what's the problem?
I think he's messing with the time crystal.
No, the time travel is in the suit.
Yeah, there's nothing valuable in here.
It's just she wants to
gloat a little bit.
Like
gloat and fight him and get some revenge.
He beat her up
Terrans,
when they
this
were.
is why your empire fell.
He beat her up on the Venus planet where they suffocated Michael Burnham. So she probably just wants to get even. You cut the red wire, not the blue one. How hard could it be?
How can you tell?
Half the ship?
How do you...
It's more like 4 decks on the saucer section.
Well, if it blows up the entire saucer section, that would be about half the ship.
Yeah, true.
Maybe it's one of those things, like when the embassy was bombed in Enterprise, they mentioned that if you try to transport the bomb, it might be rigged to detonate when it's hit by a transporter signature.
Yeah.
So maybe that's why they can't do it here.
Yeah.
All right, they're boyfriends again. All right, no, we fix it. It's fine. Everything's fine.
I thought. Okay.
No. He was gonna leave to go to the Enterprise and then to Earth or whatever, and then he changed his mind, and now they're dating again.
Yeah, well, I mean, all those feelings come up when you're within an inch of real life.
Because before, his problem was he didn't really feel anything for Paul, but now he does. Now that it's like... being pushed into a traumatic situation.
Right. He kind of he didn't want to be forced into a relationship. He just wanted like some time to recover and get to know himself.
He doesn't want to be in a relationship by default.
Yeah.
He's doing his own thing.
Which is fair enough, right? Like I'm not commitment phobic. I just want to make sure I want to be with you.
Just want to learn myself a bit first, and then I will learn about you again.
Yeah.
I never really looked at Dr. Culber's facial hair. It seems unusual that he has like the top half of his mustache trimmed. Is that a common style?
A little.
Who?
The doctor. The top
The
half of his
one you
mustache
said
is
was a
shaved, and then he just leaves a thin line next to his lip.
yeah. So no one loves you more than your own sibling.
If you say so.
Well, no one knows you better than your own sibling.
If you say so.
Because
Ooh,
your
black hole
parents
effect. Nice.
are probably too busy, running
Oh,
the
not a black
household.
hole. That's like some weird Jello donut. What am I?
Yeah.
So that's the exact same effect they use in the end of season 1 in The Expanse. So whatever.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh yeah, I still need to watch that show. I forgot about it.
It is pretty good.
You should, especially season 1.
There is season 3, I think, where it starts transferring over to Amazon. And for the first episode of that, they very clearly did not have any physics consultants on the CGI.
This is a great effect because time travel would probably destroy your brain if you were like conscious for all this fireworks.
What is your basis for that assessment?
Yeah.
Well, okay, so in the Foundation, which is Isaac Asimov, brought to you by Apple TV, when they bend space in a teleportation thing, yes.
That's a completely different process, though.
Teleportation, is that an abortion
No,
over video conference?
They use. I don't remember what technology they use for the jumping in the Foundation. I think it's a wormhole or something like that.
They create an artificial
wormhole. Yeah.
Michael, could you maybe leave the signal a little bit earlier before everyone's dead here? Or like half dead? Could we?
So you have to be asleep during the teleportation drive, otherwise, like your brain wouldn't get all the math involved of bending space.
What does your brain have to do with it? Like, your brain's not doing the math. You're just a passenger. You're just riding along.
Yeah.
Your brain doesn't have to calculate the math as it's happening. It's like when you're flying on a plane. Your brain isn't doing calculations on how the jet engine works.
Okay, but if I put you in like a 4-dimensional reality, you probably
you wouldn't be able to perceive it. Just the way a 2-dimensional being wouldn't be able to perceive a 3-dimensional universe.
Yep.
Yeah, we had a whole episode of Next
It's beyond
Generation
our
about
perception.
that.
You wouldn't be able to perceive all the dimensions, but basically when you make a left, it wouldn't work left the way a 3-dimensional thing. You may wind up somewhere else on the 4D chessboard. So that's why I'm saying your brain.
We are in 4th dimensions, though. It's just it's just you having control over where you go in time. That's the difference.
Yeah, I mean 4 dimensions of space, but yeah.
But there isn't physically there isn't such a thing as a 4th spatial dimension.
We're in 10 dimensions, at least.
There are 12 theorized physics dimensions, I think. I'm not sure what the other ones are off the top of my head.
I'm just saying, don't.
4th-dimensional aliens are looking down on us, laughing right now.
Is down really the appropriate word when we're?
Time is the 4th dimension.
They're looking into us right now. Into us would be the correct term.
Or through us.
Let's see what Google has to say. 10 dimensions are used to describe
'Cause we would-
superstring theory. 6 hyperspace plus 4 dimensions. 11
Hmm.
can
And the thing is,
describe
like-
supergravity in M theory. What is supergravity?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
So it's at least 10.
I've heard of M theory.
Supergravity is a modern field theory that combines the principles of supersymmetry and general relativity to contrast non-gravitational supersymmetric theories, such as the minimal supersymmetric
What does Mark
standard
Twain
model.
say about it?
Yes, those are many science words for sure.
Yeah, let's start with Mark Twain because he's the arbiter of our scientific inquiries.
I can ask Mark Twain and it'll go through to YouTube, but you guys won't be able to hear it in Discord. What do you want me to ask him though?
It'll go
Uh,
through to YouTube and we
can
won't
we-
hear it. Why?
Can we
Because I
perceive
messed my audio outputs.
fourth
Okay.
dimension?
Can we
Yeah,
access
Ryan
the
has
fourth
a lot-
dimension? Is that what we're
Perceive the fourth dimension is, I guess, what I'm saying.
We're
Hey,
using
Mark Twain,
the
how many
rolling
dimensions
cage.
can we perceive? Can we perceive the fourth dimension? I'll just relay his answer to you.
I mean, we can't physically perceive the fourth dimension, but we are part of it.
Okay, no, this is a really long answer. Indeed,
don't-
sir, we are but humble
Indeed,
sailors
sir.
stranded
We
on
are but
three-dimensional
humble
seascape of
sailors,
time and
stranded on the
space.
three-dimensional
Can actually hear
seascape
it.
of time and
Wait, what?
space,
How? Oh, whatever.
routinely catching
Yes,
sight of
we
the
hear it.
fourth dimension, much like a whale fussing about its ocean home from our humble shore, but never
From our
fully
humble
fathoming
shore,
its profound depths.
but never fully
It doth
fathoming
appear
its
as a
profound depth.
grand and mystical providence, akin to the
There you
Starship
go.
Enterprise's holodeck.
I'm not sure
Visible
that.
yet
Four
beyond a
tracks.
common man's reach, as elusive as an albino humpback in the vast Pacific. I
Ooh,
reckon
the
it's
albino
a spectacle
humpback.
best admired from afar, like watching
gosh.
a temporal
Mark,
ballet dance by
relax.
shadows of what's been and what's yet to come.
Mark, I specific. Oh my god. Okay, so I have in Mark's instructions to use no more than 3 sentences. This response is just full of commas and semicolons.
Like clauses, right? Like sub clauses of the sentence.
Mark, I told you these 3 sentences. I got things to do. Okay,
Look-
but this
Look,
this
he
whole time
understood the
travel sequence is
assignment.
still going on, so I guess we got
Exactly.
the time for it.
Look, we rescued Saru again,
Yep.
and we solved the mystery of who saved Saru.
Well, I mean, we already knew that.
I'm sorry, the way they depict Saru moving when he's running in that one episode was ridiculous.
We
Just
just
like,
sped it up.
We're just
2 or
gonna
3
speed
times.
it up. Yeah. It looks bad. Anytime they speed up footage, it looks bad.
I mean, how fast can Doug
The old
really
Knight Rider
run in
trick.
that in the to begin with? Because he's wearing hooves.
Right.
I mean, I don't know. what
Well,
else
I
they
mean,
can
there's
really
people who
do
wear
about it.
hooves a lot for reasons we won't get into on stream.
How would you try to depict Saru running? Would you just make a CG model of him?
So, well,
Yeah.
that's one option.
That is.
So there's a better way to do the speeding up of the footage. I think you have to film it. There's
You'd
a
have
way
to-
to film it so it's not herky jerky like it comes out when they just speed it up the frame rate.
You record it with a higher frame rate,
Cornwell.
so when you speed it up, it's not as.
Why is the
That's to do the
manual
slow
override
motion.
on this side of the door?
I think there is one on the other side, but it's broken.
Oh, okay. Oh, the TOS ships. Yes, hello, Klingons.
D7s. Oh, we're getting the Klingon theme too.
See, she loves it.
Yeah.
It's the best day of her life.
Prepare for running.
Does that come through, Ryan, or no?
It came through, Robo.
Wait, did what?
It came
I didn't
through for
hear
you, but did it come through for Ryan?
I heard.
Yeah,
nothing.
because Ryan's muted my soundboard.
Oh, yes. Robo has twice played the motion picture theme.
Yeah, no,
when-
it's not
The
coming
Klingon-
through
the
on my
Klingon
end,
thing.
Thank God.
Okay. I mean,
No fun, Ryan. Take
I'd
all the
rather
fun
not.
out of it.
I'd rather not hear the Taco Bell gong. Also, Robo, if it's all the same to you.
Well, if you would like to not hear it, right-click on his name in Discord and press the mute soundboard button.
Oh, okay. Thanks. I don't want to mute the person because then I'd be talking over him. Yeah.
I mean, you do that anyways.
Oh yeah, Zahia. One thing I wanted to say about it is
Everyone here
that
does.
It looks like a nightmare for astronomers. There's just like 100 miles of cloud cover or more. This is you can't
Yeah.
see anything from that planet.
Now we can do the mission because we had to go to every single place prior in the season.
All right, no, Sneakwood, slow down. I can't keep up.
She's sending signal at the coordinates 930 years in the future. I do actually use it as the
Wouldn't
coordinates they
wouldn't
aim to get to,
control
but don't get there.
just hole up somewhere for 930 years and come
Okay,
back?
he's a robot. What does he care?
Yeah. Just build a pod, park yourself on some remote moon somewhere, and chill.
That's what he should have done to begin with.
I mean,
I
Leland
thought they
was-
were gonna connect control with the creatures from Picard season 1, the extra dimensional
Reapers? No.
synthetic.
So this
Oh,
fight has
they've
been going
fighting
on
for like half an hour.
Yeah. But you know,
10 minutes at least.
it just shows Giorgio such a badass because you know what I love in the first fight they had. Every time he inflicts pain on her because he's a powerful robot, she's like into it.
He's learning too much from humans. He's monologuing now.
Yeah.
Just kill her.
Oh, best way to kill a bad guy.
Yes.
So
It's
is
not
he
a game.
actually
We built it
made
for.
of meat still, or is he all metal? Because like
He's
Flesh
at
and
least
bone is not gonna
largely
break that.
metal.
She calls him
They're
a meat
made of
sack.
meat.
made of meat.
Non calls him a meat sack.
Meat.
An AI stuffed inside a meat sack.
You mean like
Like
a
maybe
meat
they're a
sack
plasma
supporting
entity that goes
positronic
through a
brain?
meat phase? No, they're made from meat.
Gross.
How do they communicate? By flapping their meat at each other.
I like Admiral Cornwell's goodbye because she was a really good character.
Did you see the time crystal too?
Yeah.
You know where his story ends?
That's so funny. Wait, she was Lorca's love interest, right? She was never Pike's love interest. Because Pike has the Marie girl.
I appreciate that Pike is actually considering that he has actual plot armor.
Yeah. I think she's guessing that because he's seen the time crystal that there's some event in his future. She doesn't know what it is, but she knows that there's something which he's got to do.
Okay, how fast is this door going to close? Can she barrel roll? Maybe she could have barrel rolled. It would have been worth a shot.
Considering
this-
she'd definitely be
this-
dead otherwise.
This is the sound from Star Trek 3, right?
Or could
the
we have
ship-
like attached like a rope to it?
Strongest glass in the history of Star Trek.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense. How did that withstand a torpedo impact?
It's reinforced with a force field. Obviously.
Okay, but that doesn't answer anything.
they
This
put up.
torpedo, they said it was strong enough to blow up half the ship. How did?
Yeah, but that's blast doors. So the blast doors plus the force field, rerouting power from the warp core.
Doesn't make any sense.
Transparent aluminum.
Also, what about all the ship to the left and right and behind that impenetrable door?
Look, they
Now only
reversed
missing a
polarity
quarter
on
of
it.
the
Stop asking questions.
Yeah,
No, I will not.
they do explain it pretty reasonably in the show. Like if you rewatch the episode.
I don't know. I had this exact same thing when I watched it the first time.
Like that door is designed. It's like a science lab door. That's where it's in.
But it's an antimatter warhead. All right.
This is really upsetting because like we actually did the first half of the season was trying to find Spock, and now
Yeah.
they actually are a great brother and sister pair. I think this scene is phenomenal.
We had our search for Spock. Now we have to let someone else search for Spock. We can't keep Spock all to ourselves.
Can't we though? Can't we?
What I like about future Michael Burnham's in future seasons is that
new hair.
because Vulcan though is not on the map, so she's not at all worried about the aspect of her personality where she's gonna be stoic and wooden.
But this is also a very beautiful speech from her.
No, they're very important to each other, and I really like the kids fighting a couple episodes ago. You know when I called you guys half breeds?
It's very racist.
Oh, this sucks.
Kirk.
You know, it's really amazing how important Spock is to the whole Star Trek timeline because TNG too. Because when they show
Vexes me.
when they show Pike, who wants to change the future, future Pike shows up and says like, "Look, if you don't do this, somebody else is gonna have to take the blame or take the punishment or whatever."
Yeah.
And then Spock is the one who's injured.
No matter what he does.
Yeah.
Every single time.
If we don't have Spock, then the whole Federation will like not.
Well, that's not exclusively what does that, but yeah, if Spock isn't himself, then there's some major events which don't happen, as we see talked about in the Strange New Worlds episodes. Those old scientists.
Yeah, yeah. So that glass should be broken now because it can't be that hard to break.
No, Leland, keep smashing. You were almost there. Keep
You're
going.
almost there.
Don't give up now. See, that's a very old Star Trek explosion. Just a big shower of sparks.
Yeah, and the camera
They
shakes.
love doing that.
The camera shaking makes it official. Wow, I never noticed the whole view screen goes red twice. Like the border. There's 2 red borders around.
Ah, the famed double red alert, of course.
Or this is that hatch they show in TOS all the time, where they're fixing.
Oh God, do you remember the hatches from TOS? How they were like diagonally vertical? They're so weird.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
and almost conical.
They look miserable to work in.
Yeah, for real.
Isn't that
All
to
right.
make it easier to film in?
I hope you're ready to go to the 29th century, Robo, because you don't have a choice right now.
Do we know what the wings do? Are they just to look dramatic, or do they like help to open the subspace rift?
They're definitely functional in some regards.
You know, when she's crash landing on the planet, she needs the wings.
So the reason Discovery has to go, because I don't think we talked about this and we probably talked over it. The reason Discovery has to go is because the sphere data is fully integrated with Discovery's systems.
Yeah.
So they can't just like send it by itself. They have to send the ship.
So the sphere data is on the suit and it's on the Discovery.
It's not in the suit. The suit's its own separate thing.
Okay.
The suit is just here
Nope.
to open the portal.
Oh, thank you. Because they remember the original plan when they suffocated her was to put the sphere data in the suit.
Yeah.
Right.
When they were downloading it into the suit.
But it's too late for that now.
And it's
It doesn't
probably
want
too
to
big.
leave.
Right. I thought, well, good. I like the couple anyway, so we don't have to break up.
Leland, keep punching.
I mean, they should have just
Can it
put on
work?
a
He's a robot man.
big magnet.
That's what she's done.
What she's doing.
Okay. Just wrap copper wire 1,000 times. Okay. The boy queen died in a similar death. Screaming.
All right, everyone remember this shot. We're going to come back to it in Strange New Worlds.
Yep. In a while's time.
Yes.
You know
Welcome
what?
back, Robo.
She actually looks more attractive, bloody and sweaty and dirty like that. All beat up.
Okay.
Is that Saru's sister?
Yep.
Yep. Serena. Serana.
Yeah.
No, La Serena is the ship from Picard season 1.
It
But
means
isn't her
mermaid.
name also Serana?
Yeah.
I think it's Serena.
No, it's Sarana.
I don't know. Ask Saru.
Hey, Mark, what is the name of Saru's sister in Star Trek Discovery?
Ah, the question lieth upon the tip of my tongue as if it were the chorus of a well-favored ditty.
He wasn't trained on it.
The lady in question is none other than Serana,
Huh?
akin to
Serana.
a gentle humpback in the cosmic sea of stars.
Jesus Christ.
What?
Our Lord.
Why is he comparing? Never compare a lady to a whale. That's just
He
a bad
loves
idea.
whales. It's a compliment.
I do not think that they would
He's
take
not
it that
saying
way.
she's as big. She's not whale sized. She has the gentle nature of a humpback.
She's as majestic as a whale. Yeah. All right.
He views
Try
whales as
that.
very majestic.
Try that, Ryan, on
Oh,
a
look at
woman
all
in your
those
life and
rocks.
see how she
The whole
reacts.
floor
So
is
many
rocks.
Yeah.
We got a lot of
Oh,
rocks.
all the
beautiful.
sparkly rocks.
They look more like coals.
Yeah,
They're a
this
little
ship
scorched.
secretly runs on coal. Everyone thinks it's dilithium, but it's actually coal.
I mean, if you think about it, nuclear is just fancy steam.
Oh my
Uh-huh.
god! Wait, no. Look, I was right.
Enterprise
The
has-
torpedo did
yeah.
blow up a quarter of the ship.
Nuclear is
you
just
said I
fancy
wasn't
steam. Well, it's just
paying
how we
attention, and I
make
missed
the
last
steam.
part.
I
That's
think the
important.
point of it was to prevent it damaging the bridge and the rest of the ship. But it did blow off a lot of the ship.
the
You
force
thought I
field
was
and
crazy.
the blast door prevented
I
it
do
from-
love that they just turned the Golden Gate Bridge into a massive solar panel.
Oh, I didn't notice that. Thank you.
Then in
So-
lower decks, Mariner's ranting about the bridge. Like, nobody drives anymore. Why do we even still have it? I was like, people like the bridge. I like the bridge.
You think they had to put emergency transporters instead of pedestrian catching nets?
Just force fields.
It's a bit morbid.
The whales
In the
will catch
future-
you.
Nobody kills themselves in the future.
Nobody is
Nobody's that
depressed in the
depressed.
future, so
Yeah.
we've
There's no poverty, no crime, no war, no depression.
and no jobs, no retail jobs under capitalism. So there's no
No
depression.
There's
retail
no capitalism,
jobs.
period. Capitalism's out of
Yeah.
here.
We work to better ourselves and the rest of humanity. So
So we're joking, right? But we've discussed this and how the economy in Star Trek wouldn't work. It would actually be horrible.
Would it be
Alright.
horrible? Like if they just have
No-
infinite
So,
resources.
alright.
no retail
So
jobs.
if you have
that's
infinite,
so hard.
hold on, ear review. Do you live in a house or apartment?
I live in an attached townhouse, so it's a house, but it looks.
Do you own it or do you rent it?
I own it.
Okay, Ryan, you renting, right?
Yes.
At some point, you would like to own a house, maybe at some point in the
Sure.
future. Okay, in the Star Trek universe, how would you own a house?
You requisition one from the state.
Yeah, okay. So there's no way for you to buy a house, and the only people who have real estate are the people who apparently have been allowed to keep the property that was in their family for generations. So you just have two classes of citizens. You have everybody else who has to live in government housing, and you have the people who have retained generational wealth.
We don't see the housing for anyone else, though. We don't see where anyone else lives.
We see it for Harry Kim. It's like a really nice apartment, but it's a government apartment in a tower. We see it for what's her face, the
Isn't that student
cyborg or
housing?
android lady.
Gold pressed platinum.
All the people on colonies have their own houses. We see them.
Yeah, if you want to live on a colony, you can own the property. If you want to live on Earth, you are going to live in government housing unless you have a villa that's been in your family for 8 centuries.
I had to guess how it worked. They don't talk about this, but I would guess that there is, if they probably have a preferential system, right? So like, space is not an issue since there's other planets. But if you want to live on Earth, which is the base of the Federation, they probably give first pick to Federation or sorry, Starfleet citizens. Or Starfleet officers and whatnot. And so there's probably a certain thing where like, if you give enough to society, they may give you like a little bit higher standing, but I don't think that's the same as like money.
Did you ever see, hold on, wait. Did you ever see Starship Troopers?
Yes.
In order to become a citizen, you have to serve in the military and you get preferential treatment for property and and a birth license,
So we're saying that
So it's
Star
like,
Trek is a military oligarchy.
Yes. That's
Star Trek has a lot of problems with it, right? Because it on one hand it's supposed to be a social utopia, but on the other hand, it does have this very strong paramilitary element to it. And then you have the free stuff, but then they fuck it up when they add Chateau Picard. You're like, what's going on with that? So at the bottom line, it's a show, right? It's going to have discontinuity in it.
No, it doesn't.
And
their economy
if we
works
knew the
very well.
answer,
Thanks for asking.
Yeah.
Yeah. My point isn't that it's fleshed out or that it is broken. My point is that it doesn't withstand critical examination, and that whenever people are like, "Oh, it's a utopia," Star Trek's utopia, it's like, it doesn't work. It's never explained. It does not.
Works very well.
There's no mechanism to. Like it's like transporters,
idea
right?
is that
Heisenberg
compensator.
compensators.
Yeah. The idea is that you put in work in some form of career, as long as it's as long as you're doing something in career which is useful, then you are given the benefits extra to being able to live, basically. As opposed to stressing environments, they just do whatever's needed.
So the currency,
everyone's going to be taken care of. That's the important.
They're about
part,
to resolve
right?
my biggest issue with Discovery.
They replace currency with clout. So social clout is just social currency is the new currency is how much you've achieved and how much you've contributed is somehow measured and quantified, and that's used to determine what resources you're allowed to access.
See, you're not thinking through their mindset. You're thinking from the mindset of competition. In the future, they talk about how they've completely changed the way that they think. Yeah. And if you look in the earlier seasons, Riker's like shocked sometimes when they go back to like 20th century or something like that, and he's like, "Oh my God, do people really think like that?" And so I think there's been this huge mental shift where people don't look at it like
Spock.
that.
It's a TRS Spock.
There we go.
What?
I did not like the beard on him. He's so much better.
What happened to the beard?
Yep. No, it doesn't work for him. It doesn't work.
I
There's
have to
also
say
something
that
about this haircut. I think this is a wig. In Stranger Worlds, it looks more natural.
Yeah.
I'll say with the beard, and I don't mean this. He looks a little more Jewish.
I'd
which
say
helps
that
us
Ethan
understand
Peck
that.
does look more like the original Spock from TOS.
He can't
than
have a
Zachary
beard
Quinto
cause that
did
means Evie.
like this. But Ethan Peck does a fantastic Spock. He is really, really good.
He does look kind of Leonardy, actually. Yeah.
He
I
looks
don't know
like
why Pike
Leonard
is so
Nimoy.
amused by the lack of beard. Feels like this would be
And-
pretty routine behavior, but whatever.
He looks like Leonard and Zach put together.
Yeah.
If they had a baby.
And he did take inspiration from both portrayals of Spock.
No, see, you don't say if they had a baby anymore. We say if they had a transporter splice. If they got Tuvixed. Now I want to rewatch that episode about Tuvix being straight up murdered.
I mean, Janeway was right.
Sometimes you gotta kill a guy. I don't know what to tell you. Does Demon Lady
It sounds
come
like it's
back
about
in
to
Stranger
start the
Worlds? I never
James
recognize
Bond
her.
theme. This music sounds like it's about to break into a James Bond theme.
Yeah, it does. It's the end of, it's the end of
Yeah,
Quantum
and then
of Solace.
Threshold too.
Yeah.
We're ending this
Um,
season of Discovery
Da-dun,
with a
da-dun.
totally different ship. We don't care about the Discovery anymore, apparently.
Yeah.
Right. There's no more talking about Discovery allowed because that's classified. And that's
That
why
whole
we never.
interrogation scene.
It is
that was
amazing that
just-
they didn't intend for that to be the pilots to a new show.
Yeah.
Even though it's literally like, hey, we've got this ship, we're going somewhere, here's a new show.
Or didn't they?
I mean,
Right
well,
onto
I suppose you
Strange
could argue
New
that
Worlds.
that it is that you could argue perhaps that I've forgotten the producer's name for this franchise for this part.
Akiva
Kurtzman?
Goldsmith,
Kurtzman.
the Matalis, Terry Matalis.
No, Kurtzman. You could argue that he intended it so that he could pitch it to Paramount and say, and then the viewers would be like, "Hey, we want this show," but it wasn't actually planned as a new show until a little bit afterwards.
We're not watching episode 1?
Nope.
Okay.
That is it for today. So we're done with Strange New World Season 2. We're done with this century for
Discovery.
actually until
Discovery
next
season.
week, because we're going right into Short Treks Season 2.
Yep.
And then we'll do
You said-
Discovery Season 3.
You said Stranger World season 2. You meant Discovery.
Short Treks Season 2.
Okay.
Start
He didn't
Q&A,
say short
Trouble with
tricks. He
Edward,
didn't say Strange New Worlds.
Yeah.
Ask
it's
Not,
short.
all those. We're going to watch all 6 of the Short Treks next week. All 6 of them. And then the week after we'll go into Season 3 and we'll get to the future and we're going to crash on an ice planet with some living ice and it's going to try to eat us and there's going to be cowboys.
And we get to see more.
I had a
George.
phrase ear review that I used a lot when I spent so much time on the phone with customers, and that was, I'm not responsible for what you hear. I'm only responsible for what I say.
Nice
So cue
meeting
up
you,
Tuvix
Jasmine.
now. Yeah?
Well, thanks
He
for
grinning
having, thanks for
face.
joining us.
No. Don't go watch Tuvix. Go watch the episode in Lower Decks about Tuvix. Or you could go watch both of them.
Yeah, that's
I'm not your dad.
All right,
Okay.
bye, everybody.
Yep, we're done here.
Thank you.
Everyone be gone. Go away.
Have a
Thank you,
lovely week.
Ryan.
Parting is such sweet sorrow.